Hi, this is Becca with Amazing Paper Grace, and today I'm going to show you how to make this sweet little box that so many of you asked how to make. When you see how easy it is, you're going to be amazed. Now the box measures about 4 1/4 inches this way and about 3 1/2 inches this way. And it holds 8 little enclosure cards, or they're slightly bigger than enclosure cards. Just large enough to let you write a little something. I'm going to be flashing a display list on the screen and also at the end of the video. But in the meantime, I wanted to let you know that we are going to use a die template. This is Spellbinder's Enchanted Labels 28, and we're going to be using just this largest die template. And I want to encourage you, when you do that, to use a piece of wax paper because it's going to help to release the paper from the die. So I started out for the top by cutting one of the largest die templates, and then we're going to score it. With the long side along the top, you're going to score at 1 5/8 inches from each side. Now 1 5/8 inches is right here. There's not a trough right there, but what I do is I make a little indent and then I move it over and then I'll score. So I'll turn and I'll do the exact same thing. I'm measuring over 1 5/8 inch. I'll make a little dent and then I'll score. And then with the short side along the top, you're going to score at 1 3/4 inch, and there is a trough here, so that would be like this. Then you'll turn it around and you'll do the same thing at 1 3/4 inches, like so. And then go ahead and flex all of your score lines, like so. And then we need to take and we need to cut on the long side all the way up to the score line, like this. And you'll do that for all 4 of these lines. And I already have one done. So here I've gone ahead and I've put all of my tape and then I've trimmed. So let me pull off the tape so that I can show you how this goes together. Okay, you're going to take and you'll fold down. The sides will come in and you want them to be flush with the top, like so. So you'll do that same thing again, bringing that in so that it's flush with the top and the motif matches. And you'll flip it over and you'll do the same thing. And make sure the motif matches. Okay. And so I also made a bow. And I'll seat that bow on the top. And then I'll okay, and so then your final step for the top is just to take and put pearls where you think they should go. And now we'll move on to the bottom. For the bottom, you're going to have either design paper or you'll have solid paper. And the dimensions are 9 5/8 inches by 5 1/2 inches. You'll go to your scoreboard with the long edge along the top, and you're going to score at 4 1/4 inches. and then you'll turn and you'll score again at 4 1/4 inches. And then from the side, you're going to score at 1 1/8. There's not a trough here, so I just usually make a little mark and move it over and score. And then you'll turn it around and you'll do the same thing. I'm measuring 1 1/8. Then I'll move that over and I'll score. Just as you did with the top, go ahead and flex your score lines. Makes things easier to see, and it makes it so that you have an easy guideline. And so then what we need to do is, I want these to be flaps, so that means I need to cut these 4 lines right here, just like this. And you'll do that with the rest. I have one already made. So here I've gone ahead and put tape, and you can see that I have cut in on those 4 score lines, and then I put tape on the outside edge, I put tape on the flap, and then I turned it over and I put tape. So let me get the tape off and I'll show you how the bottom goes together. Okay, with the tape off, what you're going to do is you're going to take, or with the liner of the tape off, you're going to take and you're going to fold these just to the middle and press them down. And then I want, being sure that my top edge meets, I bring these together. And of course I used a very sticky tape. Okay, so now the box is together. So I'm going to show you an embellishment piece that I put on the box. Okay, for the embellishment, I cut one panel, and this is 2 3/4 by 3 1/2 inches. And then I cut another panel, which I embossed with a Spellbinder's Embossability, the Harlequin. With a pattern on the inside. You would run it through your machine and you'll come out with something that looks like this. Now I did take a minute and use a sander and just went over this a little bit because I just want a little bit of contrast there. So we'll take and apply this to the box. Like so, and then we'll apply this on top of it so that you have a matte okay, like so. So now on the original, I did take and put pearls at every intersection, and I'm not going to do that with this, but you're always welcome to do that. So the box is now finished, and I can put the lid on it, and there we go. So now we have the enclosure cards for the inside. For the enclosure cards, I start out with a panel that is cut 3 inches by 8 inches, and then I will score it at 4 inches. And so on top of that, I'm going to put another little panel that is embossed with Harlequin, and then I just want to take a second and just sand that a little bit just to give it a little bit of, to show the texture and to give a couple of colors. And so also I took a tiny piece of lace and wanted to put that across there. So I'll remove the tape from the back. And lay the tape across the front. Now before I adhere it down, I have a sheet of flowers that I printed off of the internet somewhere, and so I cut them out. And so we'll just apply that to the front of the card, making sure that the lace is underneath. And then this is adhered onto the card front. And so then you'll make 8 of those to go inside. So it's a fun little project. It's very, very quick. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you soon.